Gales and rain have returned to the UK, causing further disruption to transport and the power network. There are around 13,000 homes still without power in the UK after almost 25,000 were reconnected overnight, the Energy Networks Association said. The Met Office has issued an amber be prepared warning of gusts up to 80 miles per hour in North Wales and northern England. More than 50 flood warnings have been issued in England, Wales and Scotland, with rain falling on saturated ground. Rail services have been disrupted, while road closures have been reported around the UK because of uprooted trees. The Met Office's Sharples says conditions have already cleared eastwards through southern England, with concern focused on northern parts of Wales, northwest England and northeast England and moving into the borders of Scotland. We will see gusts of around 80 miles per hour particularly in coastal areas, inland probably gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour, with some quite squally conditions too as showers pass through, she said. High winds. Tony Glover from the Energy Networks Association said the experiences of people without power were horrendous, but the companies were working incredibly hard, around the clock, to get them reconnected. The flooding is a major issue for us, and getting a cherry picker out into a flooded area is one hell of a challenge. With the fact that the weather itself continues, there is debris and roads are blocked, he said. One of the thousands without power is Sharon Beresford from Bournemouth, who has been staying in a hotel with her family after their power line was damaged by a tree on Monday night. It's been a little bit difficult, not quite what we planned, she said. The hardest thing has been no information from the power companies. We keep ringing, just keep getting automated messages. We hold on for 40 to 50 minutes sometimes with no joy. I feel very let down that they left at 1400 hours GMT on Christmas Eve. Having got the cherry picker there to remove the old cable, I don't understand why they didn't just reconnect the new cable. There was nothing to say what they were doing, where they were going and why they weren't finishing it. The Environment Agency said rainfall on Thursday night was less than expected, with about 10 millimeters in the southeast. It has had reports of about 1,200 properties flooding so far. Pete Fox from the Environment Agency said river levels remain high through Somerset, Dorset, Sussex, Surrey and Kent, particularly the River Medway and the Kentish Stour around Ashford. Those river levels are going to remain high. Last night's weather will not have helped that. We remain particularly focused on the Kent Stour and lower reaches of the Thames, he said. Our defences are behaving very well. We've got teams out on the ground assessing the impacts that this weather event has had on them, but we are remaining vigilant. We are clearing grids. We are operating barriers and flood storage areas in order to minimize the risk to flooding in those particularly prone areas. Prime Minister David Cameron tweeted, "An enormous thank you to the ENV Agency and emergency services who are doing an amazing job with the floods and extreme weather." Meanwhile, East Coast trains have warned that services north of Doncaster will be running at reduced speed because of strong winds, adding 2 hours to journey times. It is advising people not to travel on Friday if possible. In the Republic of Ireland, Dublin Airport had to divert 6 planes overnight because of high winds gusting across both runways on the roads. The M48 in Monmouthshire is closed both ways between Junction 1 and 2 due to high winds. Virgin Trains warned of delays and disruption because of strong winds and rain. There will be no Gatwick Express service between London and Gatwick on Friday because of planned engineering work. Gatwick warns that replacement bus services and diversions could add up to 2 hours to journey times to the airport. Gatwick Airport also says it has additional teams of engineers, electrical staff and volunteers at the airport to minimize the risk of disruption from potential further flooding. Southeastern Train Services says services have started running after lines were checked, but there is still disruption. Arriva Trains Wales services between Holyhead and Llandudno Junction are being delayed by up to 20 minutes. Southwest Trains says it has cleared over 140 fallen trees in the last 3 days. Also, as a result of severe landslip, a bus replacement service will run between Haslemere and Petersfield in Surrey. Cumbria police say a property in Barrow has partially collapsed because of high winds, but all occupants have been evacuated.